Assalamu alaikum. Today we are going to talk about gas exchange in human. The process of exchanging oxygen and carbon dioxide in human body, why it is required, why we need oxygen for being alive. We're going to discuss all of these topics. So, first of all, have to see that in our body structure, the heart location is exactly the middle part of our chest, covered with two lungs and two sides, and as you see the blood vessels connecting a heart with the lungs, and it runs to all part of our body, as you see. And we are inhaling, we are getting oxygen. This oxygen is carried out to our lungs, from lungs to the heart, from heart to all part of our body, and again the waste product, which is carbon dioxide, is being collected from our body parts with the help of our bloodstream, carried out to the heart. Heart carries it to lungs, and we are exhaling it as the waste product. This is the main process why we inhale oxygen and exhale carbon dioxide. So in this picture we're going to see the exact location of the heart. As you see, it's the middle part of our chest, covered with two lungs, and both heart and lung covered with ribs. Ribs are protecting. The yellow color, as you see, is the rib bone, and between each rib bone there is a rib muscle or intercostal muscle, as you see, and there is a diaphragm membrane which separates the thorax or the chest part from the abdomen or stomach part. And this is the end part of the lung, or the part of the lung which connected with our blood vessels. As you see, after inhaling, after getting oxygen, oxygen is getting mixed to our bloodstream. Bloodstream carries this oxygen to cell. Cell is doing the respiration procedure. Cell is using this oxygen to release energy from the food that we obtained, and carbon dioxide is getting produced as a waste product, and this carbon dioxide is again getting mixed with our bloodstream, and bloodstream carries this carbon dioxide again to alveoli or to lung part, and from the lung this carbon dioxide is getting exhaled from our body. So the thing we have to say, all life processes requires energy, like movement, growth, reproduction, etc. For everything that we want to do, we need energy. This energy is getting obtained from the food that we are using during the day, and energy from the food must be set free from the chemicals of the food by process called respiration. Means this food after digestion, only the size of the food is getting changed for fitting inside of the cell, for example, but we cannot get energy from the food after digestion process. We need another process with the name of respiration. Respiration breaks down the chemical bonds of the food and releases energy. Okay, so respiration needs the supply of oxygen. It means without oxygen respiration cannot happen. It means the food particles getting interaction, or we can say start reactions with the oxygen and releases energy, and at the result of that reaction carbon dioxide is getting produced as a waste material. So cell must be supplied with oxygen. It means without having oxygen respiration cannot be happen, and must be able to get rid of carbon dioxide. As I said, at the end of reactions of oxygen and food particles, carbon dioxide is getting produced as waste product, and cell has to get rid of it, or cell has to release the carbon dioxide outside. In human, respiration is happening, it means getting start from the lungs, and in human this oxygen dissolved in the blood and carried to the tissues by the circulatory system. As I told you before, the oxygen is getting mixed to the blood carries it to the tissues, and inside of the tissues the cellular respiration or the process of releasing oxygen is getting happen, and carbon dioxide is getting produced as the waste product, and cell has to get rid of it. That's why we are exhaling it. Now let's talk about lung structure. First of all, Lungs are in thorax or in the chest position, as you see, and they have a spongy texture, means like sponge. They can decrease and increase its size. They can be expanded and compressed by movement of the thorax. As you see, thorax, or the chest is moving, like the size of lungs are getting increased and again decreased. And this diaphragm, this structure is essential. This diaphragm or this membrane is pushing the lung upward for decreasing the size, and diaphragm coming down to increase the size of the lung. So we say that there is a sheet of tissue that separates the thorax from the abdomen, separate the thorax or the chest position from the abdomen or stomach position, being called diaphragm, this red color. And this red color structure helps the lung to expand and compress in order to get oxygen and release carbon dioxide. For getting oxygen, we have to increase the size of lung. Look, the diaphragm is coming down and size of lungs are getting increased. For exhaling or releasing carbon dioxide, lungs has to decrease their size, and it's happening because of the diaphragm. Diaphragm pushes the lung upward and causes to release oxygen in that carbon dioxide in that position. Ribs are protecting the lungs. Ribs, as you see, there are rib structures protecting the lung from any damage. Let's see the structure. We have a nasal cavity, the cavity of our nose. Then there is a trachea or windpipe structure. Windpipe structure is a structure which joins lungs with the mouth. And this trachea or windpipe getting divided to two tubes called branches. Like we have left branches and right branches. These branches are getting divided to even smaller tube-like structures called branchioles. These branchioles end up to making some sacs, air sacs, as you see, the smaller air pouch-like structures, which is connected with our blood vessels, or blood vessels are connected with this air sacs, we can say. And there is the diaphragm structure or thin membrane structure which separates the chest or the thorax position or structure from the abdomen or stomach part. And as you see, lungs are getting protected with the ribs, and between each rib there is a muscle. We can call them rib muscle or intercostal muscle. So windpipe or trachea joins lung with the mouth. We talked about this. The trachea divide into two smaller tubes called branchioles. Branchioles enter the lung and divide into even smaller branches. And then branchioles end in a mass of little thin-walled pouch-like air sacs. This structure of the air sacs. And in human there is 350 million alveoli, as you see over there. And these alveoli are connected with the blood vessels, and as you see, while inhaling, getting oxygen, this oxygen is moving to the lung, and the last part which this oxygen can go inside of our lung is the alveoli on air sacs. From the air sacs, this oxygen is getting mixed with our bloodstream. So this is the other picture for the lung. As you see, bronchs, bronchioles, and air sacs. Okay. Lungs are elastic and shrink back to their relaxed volume. Means they are spongy texture, they are elastic, they can increase and decrease their size. The outside of the lung and the inside of the thorax are lined with a smooth membrane called pleural membrane. What does it mean? Let's see. There is bones, there is ribs, backbones and ribs. Between these part, in this part there is lung. Between bones and lungs there is a structure like pleural membrane. This pleural membrane releases a mucus, releases a liquid with the name of pleural fluid, this pink color. The pink color structure or fluid just prevents or reduces the friction. It means while our lungs are getting increased their size, the friction might happen, like bones and bones can damage the lung structure, but there is a fluid which prevents this fraction, okay, and this fluid is getting secreted from the pleural membrane. The pleural membrane structure location is the outside of the lung. Look, there's lung, the outside of the lung and the inside of the thorax. Inside of the chest, outside of the lung, there is a membrane with the name of pleural membrane. This pleural membrane function is to release a fluid. This fluid is being called as pleural fluid. The pleural fluid function is to reduce the friction while inhaling and exhaling. There is another structure like epiglottis or other top part of the trachea, which stops food and drink from entering the ear passage when they swallow. As you see, the structure with the name of epiglottis prevent the entrance of the food to our windpipe. And also we have goblet cells. They are found in the epithelial lining of the trachea, bronchi and bronchioles of the respiratory tract. The function of goblet cell is to form mucus, and the sticky liquid or mucus which is getting produced in goblet cell trap pathogens, or we can say organisms which can make us sick, and small particles, prevention them from entering the alveoli where they could cause infections and physical damages. So we have goblet cells which produce some mucus. This mucus is functioned to trap the pathogens and small particles for preventing different illnesses, okay, and this goblet cell position is in epithelial lining, or we can say the outer lining of the trachea, bronchi and bronchioles. This was all for today. Thank you for your attention.